Talk to you today a little bit about being a new through hiker, or at least new to through hiking. I've been hiking and backpacking most of my life, since Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, on through. But I've never taken on 2,000 miles before. With my gear load out, I'm not worried about my sleeping arrangement and all that stuff. I'm going to be warm and fine. Some of you folks that know me know a little bit about some of my health issues, so I'm a little concerned about my legs going out there. I got a knee brace and compression sleeves for my calves, but that's a big worry for me. I can either try and do the things I want to do, or let getting old and being sick stop me from doing those things. And if I'm going to let it stop me, why not give up now? That ain't in me. A bit worried about other people on the trail. I mean, heard a little bit about a poor fella who blew his hand off doing something, trying to start a fire. From what I read, it sounded like he had some kind of black powder he was using or something. I don't know, but I'm glad I wasn't around when he did it. And I heard a little bit about some folks taking off with some folks' food and gear from one of the shelters, maybe. So, you know, 3,000 people every year try this trail, and the more of us who try it and blog it and vlog it, put videos up on YouTube, the more attention we're going to gather. The more attention that we gather, the more likely we are to draw bad apples with the good. So every year there's theoretically more people who are going to try to show up at the trail to hijack your gear, or show up the trail to hike it and do silly things like try to blow themselves up. You know, and then there's the social factor and getting sick. You don't want to be hugging and shaking hands with everybody out there, because they might get you sick with something nasty. We're all putting ourselves at risks out there, you know. I'm not at all worried about the bears, but I'm a little, not worried, but hopeful I've planned enough to keep the rodents out of my food and chewing holes in my gear. And I saw a little video of somebody who had an encounter with some wild pigs, some boars, hogs. So that might not be fun if they're still out there. And you know, being a big fella, a little worried about the heat when I get out there in the middle of summer, because I like to hide from the heat. That's part of the reason why I live here in Oregon. We don't get too hot too often, and it's usually tempered with a good amount of rain. And I heard a little bit about some folks